So last class we talked about the triangle congruent statement, which is right here. And what I told you was you needed to line them up 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I said angle A matches up with what? Angle D. Angle B matches up with F. And angle C matches up with angle E. Now, if I wanted to mark that in my picture, I'm going to use little hash marks. A matches up with D. I have B matching up with F. And finally, E matches up with C. Don't forget it's as easy as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Also, I have AB, BC, and AC. And what matches up with AB? DF. How about BC? FE. And finally, AC, DE. Now, to do that, I put a hash mark, a little tick mark, in between AB and in between DF. I can put 2 between BC and 2 between FE, and then finally 3 to mark the other side. Now, last class, what you learned was if I want to say this is true, if I want to say this triangle equals that triangle, I need to know all 6 pieces of information. And we've already talked about how triangles only have sides and angles. So there's going to be a brand new way. It's going to be nice and easy, and it's kind of a shortcut to prove triangles congruent. So instead of me saying all 6 of these pieces of information have to happen, we're going to go through an easier process. And it's going to be called the Big Five. So if we look at the frame, on the left-hand side, what you're going to see are the steps. Step number 1 normally happens when I glue 2 triangles together. We're not going to do that until next class, and you're going to actually, if you look, you're going to have the exact same steps, except I'm going to do them with them glued together. So if I look, I'm going to go through these. Step 2 is where we're going to start today. Now I need to look, and I'm going to look at example 1. Do the triangle markings match? That means if I could move them around, if I could slide them or translate them, line marked in between them. So are they marked the same? Yeah. Now that I know they're marked the same, I can go on. This time, what I tell you is to pick one triangle, and only one triangle. So what I'm going to do is pick the triangle on the right. Okay, so now that I covered up this triangle, and now let's look. What it tells you to do is I'm going to mark all the sides that are actually marked with the letter S for side, which is only this side right here. The other 2 sides did not have that little hash mark, that little tick mark, so I can't mark them. Then I'm going to mark my angles that are marked with the letter A. That's this one and this one. Now every other thing, because I have 6 pieces of information, 3 sides and 3 angles, everything else gets the letter X. So this side, this angle, and this side gets the letter X. I should always have 3 X's. So now that I've done that, now step 4 tells me using only the triangle that I labeled, I'm going to write down the letters in order. I can only pass over 1 X at a time. I can't pass over more than 1. I got to stop somewhere else, and I'm going to walk around the triangle. So if I go around the triangle like this, should I start? Where should I start? How about the letter A? I should probably start there because I can't cross over these 3 X's. That's no man's land. That's like a big wall. I can't get through it. So if I start here, what 3 letters do I write down? A, S, A. And that's how I know that the triangles are congruent. Okay, if I go on to the next example, now I'm going to start, first of all, do the triangles match? Yeah, they match. So I need to pick one. I'm going to pick the one on the right. Doesn't matter which one I pick, they're marked the same. Now what I'm going to do is mark my X's, A's, and S's. I'm going to go around and ask you guys, what am I going to put right here? An A. Even though it's not a little round arc mark, a 90-degree mark is a mark. So how about this one right here? S. How about this angle? Is there anything? There's nothing there, so I put an X. How about here? It's a side. How about this angle? And this side. That gets an X. So now I'm going to read around it and see what happens. I can't start in no man's land. Whenever I have two X's, I can't go that way. I normally start at the edge of that. So what do I get when I go around? A, S, S. Uh-oh. Is ass one of these choices? No, but here's a trick. If you have the right ass, the right meaning, what do you think that means? Is this a 90-degree ass? Then it becomes HL. So my answer for that problem is HL. And that just tells me one of the 5 ways, there's big 5, by the way, is what I call them. Side, 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 angle, 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 side, and sticking out like a sore thumb is HL. And that's pretty much the right ass is HL. So that's how, and not every time I get a 90-degree angle, it's going to be HL. You can't assume that. I can have a right angle and it be side angle side. It just happens to be what it happens to be. So if I look at example 3, are they marked the same? Yes, so I'm going to pick one. This time I'm going to pick the one on the left just because. I'm going to start up here. What is that? Is that going to be an X, A, or S? X. Right here? Over here? Now, what 3 letters do I write down? And that's how those two are congruent. So if I do the next one, step 1, are the pictures marked the same? Okay, over here, notice where the angle is. Over here, the angle is between the 2 congruent sides. Over here, is it between the 2 congruent sides? No, it's not marked the same, so it's none. If I go through this process and I get angle, 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 is that a choice down here? So that would equal none. If I get anything else in the world besides side, 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 angle, 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 side, or the right ass, it's none. Okay, so that's pretty much all you need to know how to do this. You're going to practice doing some of them, and then you're going to do the proof worksheet next.